The Fairground Adventure. Richard ran to the bull. Are you ready, Jack? He shouted. Ready, shouted Jack. Richard kicked the ball to his friend. His sister Gail watched them. Can I play too? She asked. Richard shook his head. Girls do not play football, he said. Gail did not answer. She was angry with Richard. He's horrible sometimes, she said to herself. Never mind, I'll go to the fun fair. The fun fairground music was playing. It was happy music. Gail walked toward the fun fairground entrance. Then she stopped. She didn't want to go to the fun fair alone. That was no fun. She looked at the two boys. Jack saw her stop and he ran towards her. Don't be angry, Gail, he shouted. Wait for us, then we can all go to the fun fair. Richard kicked the ball one last time. He kicked it too hard. The ball flew past Jack, over the entrance and into the fairground. Oh no, Jack shouted. Can you see it, Gail? Can you see the ball? No, said Gail. There are so many people. Wait, yes, it's on the ground by the ice cream stall. I'll go and get it. Oh no, there was a man in a red jacket next to the ice cream stall. He saw the ball and picked it up. He looked at it, then he put it in his bag. Hey, Gail shouted. That's our ball. The man did not hear her. He walked away with the ball in his bag. The three children stood at the fairground entrance. Come on, said Jack. Let's go into the fun fair and find the man. There are hundreds of people, said Richard. How are we going to find him? He has a bag and he's wearing a red jacket, said Gail. I remember that. They went to the ice cream stall. I can't see him, said Jack. Look, said Gail. Over there. That's him. The man in the red jacket was waiting next to the roller coaster. Come on, said Richard, before he gets on it. They ran towards the roller coaster. Where is he? Asked Jack. I cannot see him now. Gail pulled Jack's arm. He's over there, she said very quietly. But what he's doing? He's, he is, I think he's taking that lady's purse, said Jack. Yes, he is. He is a pickpocket. Hey, stop that! The man turned and looked at the three children, then he began to run. He got your purse, Gabe shouted to the woman as they ran past her. He's going on the roller coaster, said Richard. The man ran past the entrance and jumped into one of the cars. Richard jumped into the last car just in time. Gail and Jack followed him. I hate roller coasters, screamed Richard. Hold on tight, then, shouted Gail. The roller coaster rushed down and then up. Everybody screamed except Gail. Look, Richard, she shouted. The people look like toy soldiers. I cannot look, said Richard. Down and up the roller coaster rushed on. Richard's eyes were shut. He opened them for a second. I cannot believe this, he said. It's horrible. He closed his eyes quickly as the roller coaster went down again. When it's going to stop, said Jack. I think I'm going to be sick. The roller coaster went up again. Up and up and up. They were at the top of an enormous drop. Gail loved the roller coaster, but she closed her eyes too this time. Whoosh! Down they came. The roller coaster slowed down as it came to the entrance. Gail opened her eyes quickly. She saw the man. He's getting off now, she said. Come on. I cannot move, said Richard, but Gail and Jack pulled him out of the car. We must follow him, said Jack. He's got our ball and that lady's purse. He's going to the ghost train, said Gail. They ran to the ghost train. They jumped into the last car. The train began to move. The doors of the ghost house opened, and the car went in. Inside it was completely dark. The train went very fast. There was a flash of lightning, and a ghost jumped out then. They all screamed at the same time. Then it went dark again. I hate this, said Richard. I really, really hate this. The man probably hates it too, said Gail, but we must follow him. Can you see the man? Asked Jack. He is in the first car. I cannot see him, said Gail, But there is a skeleton. Ooh! A skeleton jumped out of the wall, and the bats flew in front of them. The people on the ghost train shouted and screamed. Richard closed his eyes. He wanted to finish. Suddenly Gale shouted in his ear, "Richard! Jack is turning to get them out." Richard opened his eyes. He saw Jack climbing into the next car. "Jack, do not do that," Richard shouted. "You're going to hurt yourself." They both saw Jack head for a moment, then nothing. "Maybe he fell," Richard asked. "Maybe he—" "No, Richard, I'm sure he's all right," said Gale. But she wasn't sure. She couldn't see Jack, and she was worried. There were more flashes of lightning. They heard horrible laughters, and they saw huge spiders on the wall. Richard was very unhappy. "Where are you, Jack?" he shouted. "Where are you?" The ghost train was very noisy. It was impossible to hear anything. It was very dark in the ghost house. 5 minutes was like an hour. At last the ghost train went more slowly. It was nearly the end of the ride. They could see doors at the end of the track. Doors opened. "It finished," said Gale. Suddenly there was a light everywhere, and there was Jack in the second car. He was right behind the man. "Where's our ball?" he shouted. But the man jumped out of the first car and ran around the corner. The three children followed him. Jack saw it first. "The Hall of Mirrors. He's going to the Hall of Mirrors." "But it's closed," said Richard. "Look at the sign." Gail ran around the back. The man wasn't there. She saw a door. It wasn't quite closed. "That's the exit," she thought. "I'm sure the man is inside." She pulled the door open and went inside. The door closed behind her. Outside the Hall of Mirrors, the boys looked for Gail. "I don't understand," said Jack. "Where's Gail?" "She disappeared." Richard was very worried. "This is all my fault," he said. "I lost the ball, and I was horrible to Gail. We must find her." They found the door at the back of the Hall of Mirrors. It wouldn't open. "I'm sure she's in there," said Richard. "We must get help." Inside the Hall of Mirrors, it was very quiet. Gail walked along a dark passage. "I liked the roller coaster," she thought, "and the ghost train didn't worry me, but I don't like it in here. Where are the boys?" At the end of the passage, there was another door. "Here goes," said Gail, and she pushed the door open. Suddenly there was a lot of light. Here it was, the Hall of Mirrors. Gail looked around. In the mirrors she saw 10 Gail, and then she saw 10 men in a red jacket. In the mirrors, too. They all looked angry. Gail was frightened, which was the real man. The man moved quickly, and all his reflections moved too. "He's trying to run away again," thought Gail. Then she heard a shout. "Gail, where are you?" It was Richard. Gail turned around and saw him. The real Richard. Jack was behind him, with a big policeman. But the man in the red jacket looked at the mirrors and saw 20 boys and 10 big policemen. He was very frightened. "I will come quietly," he said. The policeman took him outside. The children followed them. "Thank you. That was good work," the policeman said to the children, and they took the man away. Gail ran after the policeman. "He has our ball," she said. The man took the ball out of his bag and gave it to her. She ran back to Richard and Jack. "Here is the ball," she said. "Thank you, Gail," said Richard. "I am sorry I was horrible. Will you play with us?" Gail smiled. "Let's all have one ice cream first," she said. "Then I want another ride of roller coaster." "Oh no," said Richard, and they all laughed.